Okay, here we have a vehicle with no moving parts or engine. In this experiment we have a 3/4 plate of copper, and we have either a huge cube of magnetic neon magnet. It could be round, or one round magnet, or two, or a couple. It could be square, rectangular, any shape. Pretty much is a neo magnet on this side, and we have a copper sheet or plate, 3/4 or more, on this experiment, and the magnetic fields go through the copper as if it wasn't there. And here we have a small cube, magnetic cube. So as you flip this around, you actually flip this one at the same time. So what you have here is you can control this with this. In this case we have a 12 inches plus or minus, depending on the power of the magnet and the size of a copper plate. The more powerful the magnet, the more this object can move of its size. In other words, it could be a larger cube, and you can actually rotate it. As you rotate this will rotate. So what is that for us? Well, guess what? With this, a car doesn't need an engine no more. Doesn't need any moving parts, because in this example we have a magnet, a round magnet, but it could be an odd shape. So it could do this flipping around. So we could have an odd shape, and this is a copper plate. So as you rotate this magnet, it penetrates the copper plate, and 12 inches or more, we have a magnetic rim, and you move the rim this way. So let's say this is rotating this way. You're controlling the tire, and there's no parts in between. No parts in between. And this is moving by itself. The rim itself could be suspended by a magnetic technology, like what trains do. As in other words, could be suspended by magnets, so there's no friction touching the rim to the car. So it could be suspended by magnets all the way around. And then we have the magnetic rim that, in this case, same technology. As this rotates, magnet rotates, the rim rotates, but there's no moving parts in between. But if you want to have a little more advanced, which just is have total no moving parts. Here I'll show you how my theory is. We have a nail, and if you nail, and you wrap it with copper, and you hook it up to a battery, it becomes a magnet. So here, this wheel is this one. But instead of having a huge magnet, we have nails, or rods in this case, all the way crisscross. Okay, so I just did an example here. Out of all these rods, I have two here. Okay, just as an example. So let's say these are just 4 rods. Okay, so you turn on the electricity, and they turned on and become magnetic. Then they turned off. Then the next one turns on. And they turn on, off, and then the next one turns on. So basically like a switch, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. But in this case, I just did have 4 at the time. You can have more or less at the time. So let's say 4 on at the same time, and then they're off, and then another section turn on 4, and then off. Another, what it does is it's flickering on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So what it's creating is a magnetic field that switches from 4, and then they turn off, and the next one turn on. So what it's creating is a rotation. It's creating a rotating magnetic field, right? And then this will penetrate the copper. It'll make the tire move with no electrical parts from this side or that side. So electricity will turn on and off, creating magnets, and on, and then turn off, and then the next one, and the next one. So it'll make the whole wheel rotate on and off, on and off. And it'll have this spinning, and then this will be either magnets or it's all the same technology with electricity and nails, and just an example, or just a magnet. It's a whole ring made of magnets, and since there's no friction on this, it could be a magnet. So there's no moving parts, no tear and wear. So we have a vehicle. Basically, this will replace the motor itself, because you don't need a motor no more. This in each tire. This is the moving engine. Each tire will have this simple design, and 4 tires or 2 tires, or even a motorcycle. But you don't need no more, and you don't need an engine for this. You don't need no more moving parts. So this will will change the world in engines, and also like power tools. Imagine taking out the power tools, and you have power tools. For example, let's say you have a power tool here, a gun, a drill or something, but you have this magnet right here, but you don't need no moving parts here. You know what I'm saying? Because you get a piece of copper, and you can have it up here, the moving, rotating part. So even guns can benefit from this technology, because you don't need no inside moving parts. There's no friction. So, like when I say guns, I'm talking about impact on drill guns. Sorry, my drawing's not that good, but there you go. Impact drill guns and stuff. Yeah. So this technology can benefit from that. No moving parts, and for the tires, and also the motors, you could do away with those, because now these will be on each wheel. It'll make it rotate, and there could be empty space here, right here, empty space. So in other words, there's no connection. There's no nothing connecting to these. And also, I here have 3 walls, an example. So I have this generator moving this magnet, or this configuration, or just a magnet. But anyway, it's moving this circle, which is a magnetic circle, and it penetrates. Just a minute. This is a copper plate, so it penetrates the copper plate. It goes through the wall, and then goes to the other side. And I have another one, another magnet circle. And actually, this circle moves this circle, so it keeps it rotating. And I have another copper plate. So now the magnetic field keeps on continuing and moves the other one. So see, so you don't need it could go through walls. So the point is, I can have one generator in one room with no wires, no nothing. It can penetrate different rooms or different thickness, and I can transfer the electrical energy into magnetic energy, and go into the air, and then capture the magnetic energy again, and then store it. So there's no wires in this. Just this simple. You can transfer energy from one point to the other. Now I don't know how far. So far 12 inches is what I'm guessing at. It could be more than that, depending on the power of the magnet and the size of the copper plate. The thickness, I'm sorry. There you go, folks. This will change the whole world for engines and vehicles, and all kinds of engines, and no moving parts, and transfer energy in midair. A couple inches, it could be more, I don't know, but it could be a game changer for vehicles.